new storm team.
Just after 5:47, we were close to hitting that on the dot. Anyway, Vanessa in this morning for Andre. She has been all week. Great to have her on the morning show with us. What's not so, well, it depends. If you like the snow, great. If you like the cold, great. However, if you don't like the cold and you don't like the snow, then the next couple of days weather-wise, maybe not just for you.
I'm such a fan of the snow, though. And
yeah,
I have a few friends in the Northeast who would like the snow more than us.
I know we have more coming. Is this going to be a bigger system, you think, or a smaller system than what we saw a couple days ago?
It's going to be more prolonged, but based on where temperatures will be, lower amounts. So silver lining here. We'll get into that in just a bit. Let's look at our temperatures across the region, because that's another big story weather-wise this morning. Single digits. Williston sitting there at 1 degree there this morning, but down towards the Dickinson area, we're down to 1 below. Teens is where we're at. The further south and east you are located here this morning. And those are the warmest spots on the map. However, it does not factor in what it actually feels like when we look at the wind chills. So your wind chill value is brought to you by Absolute Comfort Plumbing and Heating here. 15 below is what it is feeling like, yes, in the Dickinson area. So make sure you're dressing in layers as you head out early on for your Thanksgiving travel plans here. But the other greater story also going to be the reduction in visibility. You can see quite a few locations marking either 0 out towards Watford City, down to a mile in the Dickinson area there as well. And that means we do have some dense fog advisories in effect for parts of the area until 10 o'clock this morning. Keeping that in mind as we head into this afternoon, high is going to be mainly into those teens, 20s. May get a few 30s, just barely out towards the far southwestern corner of the state here. But beyond that, I do want to jump right ahead into what we're expecting to see in terms of the arrival of our next system. Beginning tomorrow morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock, we're going to start to see this entering the southwestern corner of the state here. Another clipper system coming into play. Initially speaking, not going to be quite as widespread here, but by the time we get towards the mid-morning hours, early afternoon, it becomes more of a likely issue. Picture the low pressure system right about here where I have my hand, where we have a bit of what we call dry slotting going on. By the time we get closer into the late evening hours, becoming more and more widespread, we expect things to taper off slowly but surely once we mark the early morning hours of Saturday. By the afternoon, drying things out, but we're not expecting those clearing skies to really make a comeback. So what are we expecting to see in terms of snowfall potential? Yes, you may notice this is a little bit higher compared to what we were showing you yesterday, just based on the latest overall guidance and the fact that that snow is going to have more of a light and powdery consistency to it. Higher total is going to be down to the south just based on this prolonged system. Not as much the further north you are located, just based on the placement and track of this system. Williston, your next 5, we're going to be talking temperatures into the 20s at least through tomorrow. Beyond that, into the teens. Single digits all we'll get to by Sunday. Dickinson, your next 5 here, reflecting temperatures into the 20s, teens, and then a little bit of a warm up into the 20s by Monday. Minot, your next several days going to be reflecting the teens and 20s. And we'll get into almost the mid-20s as we get into about Tuesday of next week. We're tracking the potential for another system there. And Bismarck, your next several days really quickly here into the 20s, teens by the end of the weekend, may just barely get into the 30s by Tuesday.
Man, the high on Sunday is only 13 degrees. Oh.
But for some of us, it's going to be the single digits, so be prepared for that.
Yippee. Let me backtrack. Lippy, right?
Yeah, those overnight lows below 0. Couldn't ask for a better forecast, right?
Whip-de-doo. Bundle up, please, if you'll be outside. Coming up on Good Day Dakota, it's a family tradition.